Good morning, everyone. So, as usual, going to give a few minutes so that everyone can receive the notification, and also those who want to share will have this opportunity to share and not miss anything. So, as you join, as usual, we want to know where you're watching from, and those who are joining us for the first time, we say a very big welcome to you. Welcome to the family. This is actually Family of Positive Minds, when we talk about topics related to our mindset, our growth, and anything that relates to us that can help us develop ourselves and grow. So, welcome in. So, to help other people join as you come in, please do well to share the link, please, as you join. Do well to share the link. Okay, cool. As you come in, do your best to share and tag your loved ones so that everybody wanting to join doesn't miss. So that everyone who wants to join does not say, "Oh, why did you not send it to me? Why was I left out? Nobody should be left out." Nobody should be left out. Today we have a powerful topic. So for those who are new, our topics are always unique. And it's always a discussion. So let everybody make him or herself visible in the comment sections. As you come, keep the comment section active. So if you're also going to watch, for those who will be watching it after the live session, still take it upon yourself to show your beautiful self by keeping the comment section active and sharing your thoughts. So in a few minutes we get going. Few minutes. We get going. Hello Omar, welcome in. How you doing today? It's been a while, it's been some minutes you've been missing. Walk and walk. Take sometimes our minds and our thoughts and and sometimes our happy things away. So for those who are hanging around, give us few seconds. I'm trying to share for those who always request for. I can share to everybody, but some people may be lucky to have it from me. So geez, we always have few minutes of break. So today we're going to have it. It's going to be very few, maybe 2 minutes. Take the stage, Lord. Oh, less than 2 minutes. We're going. I'm just a vessel and nothing more. And when you're done, please take the glory. I'm
see you glorified. Take the stage, Lord, and have your way. I'm your vessel, Lord, and nothing more. And when you're done, please take the glory. I'm satisfied just to see you glorified. Oh, dear Lord, ask you to take your place. Sing through me, speak through me, blow through me, preach through me. Let your name be glorified. Let the name of Jesus alone be lifted high. Amen.
No copyright infringement intended for the song. Okay, once more, welcome in everybody. Good day. Hope we all are doing good. This is another blessed day for us to learn, grow, and continue to impact. So, without wasting our precious time, today we are talking about something amazing. We're talking about our mindset, and if you know me in person, you know it's something I so much love to talk about. Mindset good. Because many times we try to modify the container, which is what people see, and we feel that no matter how beautiful the container is, if the content is not good, what happens? It's a waste of time. So why will you waste your money so much on the container and not the content? So when I talk about mindset, it's one of those things that we cannot touch. So I have a call coming in. Let me stop it. So it's one of those things we cannot change. It's one of those things we cannot touch. So one thing that a lot of time people forget to know is that as humans, whatever action we take is dependent on our mindset. True, true. Whatever action you take as a human being will always depend on how you think. Will always depend on what you know. Will always depend on who you are, your personality. So today we are talking on reasons why entrepreneurs think different. Reasons why entrepreneurs think different. And people will start like, what were entrepreneurs? Those people who have money. No, guys, of course, we are not here to talk about just money. I said content, container. So if you fail to get that one, you may not get the rest of the things we're going to talk about today. We need to understand that there's a content. Our body is like the container that presents us, right? But a part of a body, there are other components that make us that people cannot touch. People can touch you, can touch your body, right? Can touch your hand. People can greet you. People can touch your head. But I'm talking about that other components of you that people cannot see. So that's basically what you're talking about, the mind. What shall we gain, guys, if we spend our entire life to improve the things we have, which I know is what we actively do every day, right? Every day you're working to improve something, like it or not. Every day we are so busy, but the truth is, some people are busy just upgrading what they have without even first upgrading who they are. Or is a difference? Does it even make it? Is there any difference in upgrading what you have and upgrading who you are? Is there any difference? So when we talk about what we have, let me see, for example, if I ask, what do you have? What certificates do you have? Let me say I'm an employer, so I have a high diploma, and it's okay for this position. I want people to have a degree. You can go to school if you really want that position, right? To improve what you have. So you can go to school to have the degree in that area. True, true. So we typically actively are busy improving what we have. Let me give another thing. For example, you may need a house. At some point in life, you need to buy a house, right? And you know, to have a house, you need to have at least a down payment, if not the full amount, right? A down payment. Let's say a down payment of $40,000, and you at this point have just 20,000. What happened? You need to do something to add that money, right? So you need to improve your bank account. So you can go, the list can go on and on. You can say, oh my, I don't really like my skin color. I may have to work on it. So that skincare now, a lot of skincare, when people talk about skincare in this generation, focus a lot on how we look. But we don't, ignore the inner part. So when we talk about skincare, a lot of, oh, how can I improve my skin tone? How can I improve my day? So we work actively to improve what we have. So with that being said, now let's see what are we? What really are you? If we give, for example, now talk about who actually we are. Now, two people may see that actually they need 40,000 for a down payment, and these two people at this point these days are giving everybody connected. God says, okay, I want to bless you guys in a marvelous way, and gives everybody $200,000. Remember, initially, let me say all of us just needed just 40,000 for a down payment. Maybe our goal was just to get a house, right? We all want to move at least to our own houses. Every wise person doesn't want to stay on rent forever. So the goal is to get our own houses or homes, our own homes. And instead of 40, you were maybe looking for $40,000 and you are given $200,000. What do we think? Do everybody who is connected today, would we all go and just get a house, or some people will do something different? What do we think? Let me know. What will you do, by the way? If today you're giving $200,000, you can convert it to your currency. You can see an estimate. If you're using CFI, this should be more than 100 million CFA, more than 100 million CFA. So imagine how much that money is. What will you do? Will you just go instead of doing a down payment of that house you wanted to get? Because this is what I know some people will do. You needed 20,000, they're giving you needed 40,000, they're giving you 200,000. Man, that's much, right? At that moment compared to what you were looking for. Some people will go like, instead of taking that particular small house they wanted to get for 400,000, they will immediately go for a bigger and a better house. True or true? And some people were like, wow, this is enough money to invest something that by next year is giving me times three of this amount. So some people will honestly take that money and invest and not even do a down payment, so that they can instead just buy a house, catch up, have more money to get what they want. Which means some people will first of all invest and multiply and build a system. Some people, by the way, will just take all of that money and put in an investment, because talking about investment again, people do different types of investment. But what we all are going to do, by the way, as I said, let me hear from everybody connected. What will you do? What will you connected? What will you do if that money is given to you now? Considering your own situation, I don't know what you need now, financially specifically now. What are your financial needs? What will 100,000, no, said 200, what will $200,000 do to you at this point? What will you do with that money now if it's given to you? What is the first thing you're going to do? That is a question. And for those who are joining, welcome in. Please, let's keep the comment section active. Let's keep it active. That is a way I know those who are watching. And that's the way at least I know I'm not talking to myself. I know there are also people connected, right? So yeah, and I just also appreciate all those who are active. So what will you as an individual do if you're given that amount of money? What we are going to do, or what each one of us are going to do, or the choices we make is going to always be determined based on, as I said earlier, our mindset and the things we know, the skills we have. So, talking about that, I know this for people who are very active. A lot of things are happening in the world, right? But no matter what happens, we all see that some people keep going. No matter each time you say, "Oh, this is happening," people were there's inflation. After inflation, some people had their dream houses, or there was the pandemic. During the pandemic, some people stayed home and their businesses skyrocketed. So I think it's every wise person should ask those people, what are you doing, right? If you, unless you have a jealous and negative mind, I think if you have the right mindset and you're struggling somewhere, some other person is doing better, the right thing to do is walk to that person and ask, oh, bro, sis, auntie, uncle, what are you doing? Right? Okay, thank you for those who are active in the comment section, and I still encourage everybody, please don't be don't be shy. Don't be shy, don't be scared. Yeah, we are all positive minds. The comments are always, nobody is beating anybody and nobody is bullying anyone here. It's always a very positive um environment, and I love and appreciate all the amazing people always in the session. So it's always Saturday, every Saturday, by the way, for those who are joining. I'm like, what program is this? The same way you join, the same time, just. And also, please, before I proceed, for those who had the change in time, depending on where you're based, for those who had the change in time, please take note from the flyer. Welcome in, guys. Um, for us in the US, those using those in Central Time, last week's will be coming at 12:30. So in case you thought we came too late, this no, because of the change in time and because we're working with West African time, we maintain West African time, and so because of the hour change, we are coming now at 1:30 Central Time. Take note, 1:30 p.m. Central Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So wherever you're connected, you can use, and West African time is 7:30 p.m. So I encourage us all to look at these various time zones, or whatever you understand best, whatever time zone you understand best. Use it, please, and set your alarm so that in situation, because I have people in my inbox now, please can you send the link of the program so that in situation like this, I don't like to walk, talk, and hold my phone. So I encourage everybody first to always make sure wherever you're watching, you're subscribing, you're following, so that you will also be among the first people to receive notification each time we are live. So I appreciate all of you for your cooperation. So I encourage everybody please to do that so that you don't miss anything. And also, if you're watching and in fact you've shared, I still encourage us this moment to take minutes to share to at least 5 persons or 5 group. Because to me, where we come from, we share a lot. And that is one thing that helps us to grow together. Like it's difficult. I see people trying to grow as individuals and it's so hard. Honestly, I don't know how to do it. I believe when you work as a family, work as a team, any business, for example, you do as a family, if it's your culture of doing things together, you're going to always get a way to do it easier and a way to go with that stress. But a lot of time we stress because, so I'm just saying that don't come and be the only person being impacted with an information on a platform like this. When you're connected, always make sure to share it, to share with your loved one and to tag your loved one. Go and tag them and post, you help them to view it too. So with that being said, talking about, for those who have shared their thoughts, I asked earlier that if you're given, based on your situation, based on where you are, if you're given $200,000 and you can convert that to your currency, what will you do? Okay, one person says she will invoice. I saw that. I saw that just from one person. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Okay says she's going to invest. So okay, thank you for answering that. I see Franklin, but Franklin didn't respond to this one. Yes, Franklin is saying share and share. So yes, thank you guys. Thank you. So I encourage everybody, please um imagine you're the teacher or you're the one talking and nobody's answering. It's going to be boring. So I just encourage everybody to do the same. It's always a conversation. It's not just we come and talk and talk and talk and talk and go. No. So okay. So definitely, we some people who have been are giving that money now. What some people would typically do is this: they will go and buy. Some people even go and buy that car, that dream car that is in their head. They will not invest a dime, and after 1 month, they'll be in that same financial situation they are in now. And some people maybe like, okay, will have to look what they can invest, if not part all of the money. Some will invest part, some will invest all, some will go and do first the down payment in that dream house, then invest. So people do different things, right? Based on really what they're thinking and what your priorities really are. Yeah, for me, I know this is a year of remembrance, and last year, a lot what I talk about is planting. There's a time to plant, there's a time to harvest. And each day, what you have now is based on the things you planted last year. True, true. Whatever, however your life is this year is dependent on the actions you took last year, the decisions you made. So that is how life continues. What will happen tomorrow, what will happen in 10 years, will always depend on what you are today, what you are, what you think. That's why I said that some people focus so much on what they want to improve or what they have and neglect or don't even pay attention or don't even know or don't even care of who truly they are, because it's no matter if you have 2 million in your bank, it doesn't make you a millionaire, right? Because of course you can still take that 2 million tomorrow and buy your latest car, and that car tomorrow is not an asset. You're still a broke person. So it's not about what you have that makes you an entrepreneur. That's just where we're heading to. Because many times people focus on, yes, I know in the definition of entrepreneur, you will have risk bearing, business owners. Those are keywords there. But of course, do we agree that not everybody who starts a business is able to properly run a business or grow that business within 5 or more than 5 years? Do we all agree that not everybody who start not only a business, start working on something new? It can be an idea, it can be a program. Not everybody who starts a program, a project, is able to properly and efficiently execute and expand. So two things: execution and expand, or I can say expansion, development, other things. But I want to limit it at expand. Like not everybody who starts a project is able to expand that project and effectively run it for more than 5 years. True or true? For those in my inbox, I really appreciate if you are this time you have to follow or subscribe depending on where it's best for you to watch so that you don't have this delay for me. So guys, what's happened to the why we all quiet or why are most of us quiet? So yes, if we are very attentive in the different communities or with ourselves, we notice that there are some projects that we started or some businesses or some programs we started and we didn't complete. It's not because we didn't have the resources available. It's not because we could not, but possibly because of our mindsets, right? So it's basically what we are going to be talking about, that a lot of us waste a lot of resources every day, every second without knowing. A lot of times we are waiting on God to do miracles, but God is waiting on us. Thank you, Mark. But God is waiting on us to use the available resources we have for the miracle to be produced. How many of us know that? Many times we humans we are focusing, God do this thing, do that thing, do this one. But God is like, I have blessed you with gifts, I've given you talents, I've given you amazing people, I've given you good health, I've given you opportunity to go to school, I've given you this, I've kept you alive for you to do great things. But of course, this is not how many of us think. We always focus on the thing one more, because once you improve what we have, that mindset of I want to improve what I have. So yes, I know some people think that buying the best house makes you rich, but of course it doesn't. Buying the best car does not make you, it makes you look rich but not rich. There's a difference between looking rich and rich. So it's totally like you are focusing again on what container you are in, not the person who is in the container. So have we realized that wrong mindset is the reason some of us have induced self-stress on ourselves due to accumulate, like example, there are some things that we are decisions we've taken, like some mortgages some people have taken. Honestly, if you just invested first before taking that mortgage, you'll be stressing less now. That is the truth. And some of us, even after listening to a program like this, we will still do the same, we may still do the same thing, right? So some of the problems we pray so hard or work so hard to solve could be avoided, or some of the problem we are creating that can still be avoided by just being intentional and being informed and having the right mindset. So as when entrepreneurship, people say entrepreneurship, I know people will come and will just talking about making money or being a business owner. But as I said, not all business owners survive after 3 years. Many start every day, and every day someone is shutting down as well. The wars with wars and everything going on. So many other things, natural disasters happen. So it's not just about starting a business, right? When we talk about entrepreneurship or owning a business, but it comes with all the components. Someone said, for you to know how wealthy or rich you are, ask yourself what happened if you lost all what you have now. Let's be honest. Like, if you lost everything, how can you build back? That's how you know that, oh, I'm really rich, I'm really wealthy. Because even if my phone that I have, for example, is taken now, I can go back and buy the same phone. So if you're having the latest iPhone and you're still bragging, oh, I'm using the latest iPhone, my question to you is, what happened if that latest iPhone gets missing today? How will you, how fast are you going to get the next iPhone? If you're using the latest Benz, whatever car, what happened if that car is being destroyed today? How fast will you get a new one? How much stress is it going to bring on you? So that is how you know who you are, not just what you have. So it's just a simple practice. So if you practice in asking yourself each day, what really, who really am I, and what do I really have? It help you to stay positive. So entrepreneurs are not those who focus on what company they have, but entrepreneurs are those who focus on what idea, not company. You get the difference? Idea. What idea do I have? I have this idea, for example, oh, this is where I want to implement this idea in the US. If you ask every entrepreneur, they'll tell you that I had this part in my journey, and you try this idea in the US. After investing so much money, it doesn't work. And after you continue research, you don't give up, and you realize that this idea can do well in Africa. You take the same idea after the millions you've lost, you continue in Africa, is giving you billions. So it's not always like entrepreneurs are people who are making money every day, as people think. No, they are the people who are not scared of losing money to make money. Does that make sense to everybody? Entrepreneurs are those people, risk bearers, who are not scared to invest on an idea. Good entrepreneurs look for an idea. They don't just look for where there's money to make money. So I was trying to ask myself, what's the difference? Because why do let me ask us? Do we think all businessmen are entrepreneurs? Do we think all businessmen are entrepreneurs? Personally, I think that's a debate that I've seen If you go, you see people who say yes, they are. You see people, if you go on social media, Google, you see people say yes, all business, because entrepreneurship, by some people's definition, just shows these are business owners who take risks, so who bear the risks or most of the risks of the business. It's a simple definition, like a simple generalized definition, but someone says entrepreneurs are not born but created. So if you come out with the other person thought, you ask the question like, okay, if entrepreneurs are not born, and we know that some business owners actually inherited the businesses from their parents or their loved ones. So does it mean they are considered entrepreneurs or not? Maybe that is something that you still can do your research on. So let me see, guys. What do you think? Are these all business people entrepreneurs? For me, I still say no. I still say no. We all can own business, but not everybody has that entrepreneurial mindset. You can be a business owner. Yes, you're considered an entrepreneur. So to make it easy, I can say not all business owners are good entrepreneurs. So maybe that make it easy, because I know some people like, "Man, entrepreneurs are business owners, of course. But as I said, not every person who starts a business have the skills, the mindset to do business. So when I talk about entrepreneurs, the way the thing I'm talking about that mindset. So not all businessmen are entrepreneurs. Thank you again. Yeah, I took that. That's where I stand. That's what I believe. Like based on experience, if all businessmen had this entrepreneurial mindset, I think people this world will be better. I just think so. In fact, I know so. So originally, by the way, I'm from a country. I'm originally from a country and a clan. So the clan or and the tribe which I come from, our primary source of income and our main economic activity is farming. And then some people are like ashamed to be farmers, but I'm so proud of farmers because it depends the type of farmers you know. I'm so proud of farmers and I love farmers. If you know, you know. So talking about the type of farmers, I know or I that we do in my tribe. We have two types of cash crop, and the men do mainly the cocoa. How many people know cocoa, by the way, people connect, and how many people have done cocoa farming or have been in areas where people do cocoa? And by the way, how many people know what the price of 1 kilogram of cocoa is now, as of now this year? How many people know? If you know, send that in the comment section. So the main activities is the cocoa farming. The women do the food crops, which means the women take care of what they eat in the house, the cassava, the cocoa yams, the maize, the peanut, the granite, all those stuff like that. But they also have like cocoa is seasonal by the way for us. I don't know about other people. So cocoa from my tribe is seasonal. So it's something that harvest season is always like around like September up to December, January, like that. So at that time, people are making money. The rest of the year, you're basically planting or taking care of your farm, spraying and other stuff like that. Then you have the women busy taking care of the food crops, and also they have what they call the bush mango, commonly known as abono, what Africans typically use to cook soups. So that is also a cash crop, by the way. The bush mango is a cash crop, which means just around the time where the men are harvesting the cocoa, or just before. Sometimes depend when the mango time is. It's when the mangoes are ready and are falling. So women make money from that. And I noticed there were two set of people, which means if you know. By the way, I mean, let me see. All these people, you guys don't know about cocoa. Some of you are lying or pretending. One of it. Some of you are lying or pretending. So, by the way, yes, let me say about a year or two ago, one cocoa at some point was like about $1.1. Yeah. about $1 and some cents. Let me put it like that. And now 1 kilogram of that same product, it's way more than $3. 3,000 is more than $6. It's more than $6. So it's more than $6 for 1 kilogram. And guess what? Every year, one person, one man from his own farm can have more than let me put in kilograms, more than 1,000 kilograms. So if you multiply that amount, 1 kilograms is like 6 kilograms. And one man may have more than 1,000 kilograms. That's a minimum, by the way. I don't want to call become a good with the figures, but they know what I'm talking about, those who have done it. So, which means to a country, and this is not for people who are in the US, because this money may look like, oh, it's just $6,000. Yes, it's only $6,000. But imagine $6,000 for someone who is living in a house that looks like yours, and that person is paying just for the whole year. The person's house cost is just like $500. That's what I'm talking about. And if the person decides to build a house, the person can build a house for around that $6,000 in 1 year. That is just to say it's far lower. Living cost is low. Now it's easy for with this amount, if you were those who were following me, to think that, or what would you think? Do you think people who are doing this type of farming should be very rich or very poor? Let me ask like that. Do you think people who are in such areas and doing this type of farming, because it's cash crop, and yes, we understand that sometimes the values will go down, just is what it is. And sometimes like this year, the value really increases. That goes same for the urban or the bush mango. Bush mango sometimes, if you ask a kilogram of it, even in your local market, wherever you are, go to the market today and just try to price 1 kilogram of ogbono or 1 kilogram of cocoa. Then now you can relate to what I'm saying. So, of course, people make money a lot from these activities, and that's why I say, for me, I know farmers are happy people. Some, just some don't do the right thing. So seeing this, being in this environment of amazing people doing farming, or seeing them doing farming get up each day, guess what? I noticed that there were generally two types of people. There were the ones that each season, as they sell their cocoa, make their millions in CFA, of course not in dollars, in CFA. They properly plan on what they wanted to, what project they wanted to achieve that year. Some build big companies that are not even in that community, like in different towns. Some build mansions that they stay in, though they were maybe in a very small local community or villages. They build good houses. And some send their children abroad to the best schools, their dream schools, from that money from their farm work. And there were those also that when this money, and as immediately they receive the money, immediately they sold their cocoa, immediately they so whatever they had. They don't sleep in their houses. They sleep in bars. And I know someone, I posted something, somebody told me not to talk about the beer or alcohol, whatever. I'm going to talk about some people sleep in beer houses till when that money is finished, which means even their wives don't see them. And some move from one girlfriend to the next till the money is finished. So they only come back to their normal senses when that money has finished. So as the money comes, they go mad. They spend anyhow, they drink anyhow, they eat anyhow. And guess what? Just after one month, maybe they are begging. They are begging. And if they have children, in heaven there is no beer. And hey, that is it. Oma say in heaven there's no beer. There's a song like that that I've composed a song like that. So if you know what it is, so now there will be those people tell you that let me drink. In heaven there's no beer. So yeah, so those are the two group of people, and I know I'm not the only person. Just that some people just don't pay attention. Some people don't learn. So what I learned is this: as individuals, we all have choices. We all have freedom of choices. As somebody said, in heaven there is no beer. So let me spend my money as I want to spend. Let me drink enough beer as I need, because of course in heaven there will not be beer. Another person said, well, in heaven there is no beer, but I have more days to drink beer, and I don't need to waste the money on beer. Then I go and spend it, or go and waste it behind the house or in the toilet. So it just depends on what you think and what choices you want to make. So now, with that being said, one day I went to visit one of the richest community, the richest and most educated community in that same tribe. And in that community, guys, most of their houses are good. It's not from wood, like bricks. Most of their houses are modern, like so good. And my assumption was I was not going to see any of that house in that community. And then while walking, I came across one very small mud house that the roof is made of zinc, thatches, and it was almost falling off. And it was a rainy season. I started picturing the person like. Then again, at the same time, I saw that this person had cocoa in front of the house. So it could be I was having so many questions, so many thoughts while walking. I'm like, okay, well, it could be this person did not, because some people also walk in the city and they didn't think that they will ever go on retirement, or they think that when you go on retirement they'll be having enough money. But they forget that when you're going on retirement, they give you only part of what you're having, or it's what you've saved. They'll pay based on how much you save for your retirement. So some people also were in that, for those who say, oh, I don't want to do farming, so that people will retire and come, they see that they're even worse than people who have been staying in those very local community forever, like forever. So yes, I thought like maybe this person worked in town and wasn't never planned. Life happened. I'm one of those who believe that life can happen to anyone. So life happened. But now I had to ask question to the person I was working with, like, do you know this person? Do you know who stays here? I'd like say, well, a blind man staying there. I'm like, okay. In my mind, I was like, okay, yes. I mean, I think maybe you two, once you just say it's a blind man, you should thought like, yeah. So maybe that's why he was blind. He was not able to do that, but that was not the case. Just saying the blind man, staying the old man, blind old man standing there, like. I'm like, okay. So I was saying, but the person continues speaking. Say, blind old man standing there, but he has big farms. But when he was young, they told him to be investing, and he was like, life is short, let me live my life. If I build now, someone else will come and eat. So typically that's everybody knew him. Like, but that's what he always say. So he was living anyhow. Of course, there's no beer in heaven. I'm sure he was one of those saying it out loud. There is no beer in heaven. So let me drink as much beer as I can drink now. And nobody should tell me what to do. It's my money, it's my dad. And unfortunately, as you got older, of course, as you get older, your body cells don't get younger. So as he got older with age and everything going on, at some point, he even became blind. But before he became blind, he didn't even have a house to stay in. He didn't have a house, he didn't have a wife, he didn't have children. So he was staying in that small house. I can't even imagine a human being staying in it. But that was his reality. So after that, my mindset automatically changed. Well, it's not just now about the fact that people waste the money, just like some people indeed are digging their own grave. And that's why for me this topic is very important. Some of us have been so blessed talking to us now. And you may be like that man now because you're young, because everything is going well, you're like, let me live my life. So if you're one of those people, first at this point, I ask you, what happened tomorrow? If you're like those people who are in countries like Ukraine that were just living their life and have nothing, and now because of the war you didn't die, but by the grace of God you still live, what type of life will you be living if you lost that job? Because maybe your company is destroyed by now. Each time there's war in a place, there's destruction. Maybe the company you build is destroyed. Maybe the where your company, if you're working for somebody, is destroyed. What will your life look like now? Maybe even your bank is destroyed. Unfortunately, it happens. What will you do? So that's why I said entrepreneurs are better thinker. What does that mean? Or what makes me say so? Many people now, I thought it's only young people who think like that, but it's with Android generation, people show their shenanigans a lot outside. And now I'm like, people, not young people. I insist on to say many people this generation focus so much on what people say or what they're showing on media or what they want to show and forget to face their own realities because there's so much motivation in just facing our realities. How many of us can confidently say now that, oh, I know really who I am because that's what it is? How many of us can say, oh, I'm here, I know who I am, what I have, what I want? How many of us can confidently say that? If you can, let me see that in the comment section. Maybe there's some great, amazing people doing some great job. So if we look at the blind man scenario, I asked everybody, do you think his life could be better if he managed the resources he had when he was young? Do you think when he got blind and old, he could be living a better life? That goes even to you now. Do you think if you manage the resources you have now, that you can, now that you can still listen to me, you can still see me, you can still change something, your life will be better tomorrow when you can't talk, when you can't walk, when you can't even change your own dress. Do you think so? So that is where entrepreneurs think. They don't think about themselves, by the way. That's another point we're going to get to. They always think about what if tomorrow I don't have this opportunity? What if tomorrow I can't walk? That is a good motivation, right? Once you ask yourself, what if you, and that is also something that humble human beings that are able to face reality that though at this point I'm at the top, I can also go down tomorrow. It'd be so difficult for you to just maltreat another human being anyhow, right? So that's how also I said this generation, a lot of us focus on what we see, what we want to show. We fail to face the reality that even if you have 10 certificates now, at some point those certificates will not change will not change anything. Like me, at one point in my life, I was in an accident. At the point I felt like my legs are broken when I was in the air before I touched the floor. Then when I touched the floor and people came to my I saw like I was seeing the time like, oh, my legs are still there. So for me, I was just happy that I can walk. And so each time I see somebody who is walking on the couch, I was like, that could be me. That could be me. But the reality is sometimes we even get into wars that people that have had like very, very more devastating accidents. And after you see them walking at other people, I'm like, really? You just grace located you that day and you didn't die. You have that power, that courage to come and look down at another person. So I ask you now, are you one of those people still thinking that it's my life? I can live it anyhow. I can talk anywhere. I can do anything I want to do. It's my life. It's my job. It's my power. It's my money. It's my car. It's my phone. I can do whatever I want to do. Are you one of those? If you are one of those, I encourage you to think better. I encourage you to upgrade because even babies don't think again like that. So I encourage you to update because yes, it's your life. Nobody's even arguing that with you. Nobody wants to take it from you, but nobody also wants to. Nobody who truly cares about you wants to see you in the point to say, "If I knew." That's why they talk. If I knew. So of course, that is why I personally always maximize every opportunity. I take every day as I have opportunity to do what I have to do. Like the only day, that's how I work. Like each day for me is an opportunity to do everything that I can do. Not everything I cannot do. So what I can't do, don't even disturb me. So, and I believe if we all think like that, we are going to maximize. Things may not always. The truth is, things will not always go the way you want. The way you plan, no matter how good you are in planning. I know I'm good in planning, but I tell you that there are times you plan 6 months ahead, 1 year ahead, but it still doesn't go as you plan. No matter how you make sure everything is in order, you are not God. You decide what you wish. God decides what will be. So we all have to be open to accept the reality. No matter how you play, God still decides what will be. No matter what you put together, God still decides what will be. So, talking about what we have, I know some people are here, they have money in the banks, they are adoring it. Oh, I have this million, this is my money. And this is like every day they are checking that money, they are not doing anything. Each time I want to say why some people focus on what they have, entrepreneurs are focusing on what they can do, who they are. I am a great person. I am a this, and this is what I should be able to turn every $1 to a $10. I should be able to turn every situation to something memorable. I should be able to see the positive or the solution behind every problem. So that's how entrepreneurs think. They don't just think like, oh, this money is there, and I would just keep it there. So no, they think of what can I solve? What that's why I say each day take each day as serious to the last day. You're going to make maximum use of the resources you have now. Instead of just praying God, add one, add me more. So you definitely see that entrepreneurs think and act differently, right? That's just in case you will sit down to like, oh, then what makes an entrepreneur? Am I an entrepreneur? Now you know if you're that person who think about so much about what you have and not losing what you have, then you have to see and you thought you were an entrepreneur. Go back and think. Because as I said, many people because I own a business, because I run this, I'm an entrepreneur. Go back and think if you may be there, but you're not a good one. You get it? You may so it's not a bad thing if you identify that I'm not here the good one. You still have opportunity to work on it, right? So that's why we have this conversation, by the way. So entrepreneurs think and act differently. They even pray differently. They don't pray like, oh God, give me money. Oh God, give me more money. Oh God, give me children. Oh God, give me husband. They pray, they don't pray amiss. They pray, oh God, give me this so that I can. Even you're the one, somebody asks you what the person wants to do, what the person is asking. Oh God, give me an idea so that I can be a blessing to my people. Oh God, bless me so that I can bless other people. Oh God, so entrepreneurs pray differently. So being an entrepreneur is not just about, oh, I am making money or I want to make money, but it's about this mindset. Do you have this particular mindset? So I personally have learned that life is obviously not about what people have or what we have. But really, it's all about what we do with what we have. What are you doing with what you have now? That's my question to you. You may say, I don't have enough, God, give me more of this. But what are you doing with what you have now? What are you doing with it? What are you doing with what you have now? It's a question I'm asking everyone here. What are you doing with what you have now? Because of course, we all talk every day what we want to add. Oh, I want to go to school and have, personally, I want to go to school and have some things again. I still want to go to, oh, I want to have a new job and do this. I want to start my own business. Those are the things you have. No wahala. It's fine. I want to have these things so I get to my. What are you doing? I want to move to my. What are you doing with what you have? That's what God will ask you. God knows the things you don't have, and God knows the things you have. So imagine that you are God. You give somebody $1,000, the person waste. The person comes and is asking $10,000. You, being a merciful and loving, caring father, you give the $10,000. The person still waste, and the person is asking you $100,000. Maybe God will still give you, and you will still waste, because that's your nature. You are the waster. And do you think at the end of the day, you being in God's position, you're going to be happy with that person? That is what is happening. A lot of time we are asking for more, more, more. But we don't want to think straight. We don't want to think on what am I doing with this ability I have? What am I doing with it? What am I doing with what I have? Is that question that a lot of us are not asking ourselves. What am I doing with what I have? So ask somebody you love today that what are you doing with what you have? Especially those ones that you know they are making those statements of it's my life. Let me live my life the way I want to live. So just ask them what are you doing with what you have now? Because anytime me I believe that each time, even if you go to school to study something, you should be able to apply it for yourself first, your loved ones, before even the company. But many times I see people, while they study, the only place they apply is till when somebody employs them to work for money. So it's till when somebody is paying you, then you apply the things. Some people even study things and forget it the same day after exams. It's what it is. So are there some people who want to do different? Are there some people who want to do better? If yes, then now we go to our summary for the day. This is what our take home message is. Why or what makes entrepreneur to think different? If you, after all the things I've said, you also come to a point you say, but wait, oh, what have I been thinking? Maybe I've been thinking like a waster. Maybe I've been thinking as a consumer. There's this book also that helped me to understand this concept. There's a book, The Capitalist Nigga. The capitalist nigga will understand that there are two sets of, make you understand that two sets of people: consumers, producers. Once you have a consumer mindset, whenever more money is given to you or whenever you make more money, your tendency is to spend more. Then you know you're a consumer. If you're this person that whenever you have more things, you spend more, automatically spend more. Because as I said earlier, some people can be giving, so we can be giving, by the way, the same amount today. But some of us, after today, we will never need to work for money. That $200 will be giving us $200 every year. But for some people, they will use all of that $200 in 1 month, then start looking for a job. The next month, then they have to work now for money back, get back in that same cycle they are currently in. So These are some of the reasons if you have up to this point not considered to be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that make entrepreneurs exceptional. Because an entrepreneur is someone who sees an opportunity in everything. Someone who sees solutions and not problems. You can say, oh my God, the prices of things are increasing. The only thing that bears out is in us who like to be entrepreneurs or us who are entrepreneurs is what can I do? And oh, you see, that's why you justify a problem too much. You're boring on them because the person is talk more about what we can do. Don't be explaining the problem too much. We already understand. So the fact we don't talk about the problem, it's not like we don't get it. So entrepreneurs get up each day to check what can I do. That's a key thing because when you know what you can do, then you definitely start searching in the right direction. What do I need? Many times we focus on what we need without even knowing what we want to do. That's why I said I made a video I think last week or no weeks ago that people there are two sort of people I know when it comes to investment business. There are people who focus on making money, then when they make the money, come and ask now look where they can just put the money. And there are people who grow up by starting to ask themselves, what can I do? Then see the amount of money we need. So we you see at the end of the day, some people just feel like it's all about making money, having money. It's not the truth. You can have an idea, you can have a talent. Look, people who have talent. Look at some of the people we celebrate or you celebrate, right? Are there people who had money before they were? No, there are people who had talent, then see that that talent can bring money. Then they focus now to look who can help them elevate that talent or grow that talent or groom the talent, things like that. So they focus on having that environment, that people, those resources. Because sometimes you don't even need money, you just need somebody who have a studio to help. Like I've seen artists who say, oh, I went to a studio, I didn't have any money, and this person recorded my first this or that movie or song or scene told me for free. So sometimes you can just have a talent, you just need someone to take you into an environment that you can act. But because you focus so much on just let me make the money, your talent is wasting, you're getting old. Every other thing, you're getting so busy with what you're doing to get the money. And at the end of the day, you're still complaining. So entrepreneurs don't do that mistake. They don't go that route of wasting time. Time is a value, in fact, the most valuable resource we have as humans. Because if you're not breathing today, if you're not in the emergency ward today, then you still have you have an opportunity to do something great, right? But if you are there, all you need, if you are in the emergency unit, all you will be praying for is to get out of it. If your time has ended on earth, you have no say again. So if you're here and you're listening, just know that you're challenged. These days, that think beyond just food, drinks, clothes, cars, because those are things that can be destroyed, can be lost in one day. Now talking to us who are from countries or areas where there's war, I think that is for me, that's a very humbling experience. To see people who invested, talking about people, think that the people who invested, build their mansions, build their company are doing good now. But imagine those people who had even planned so well, did the right thing. As I said, sometimes you plan doesn't go exactly the way you plan. Now their own houses are being burnt after they are on retirement or they are old. Someone just come one day because there's war going on, burn down your house. Or someone come one day, burn down your company. It's happening, right? What lesson are you learning from it? What can you do different to make sure that even if someone burns your company physical, as I said, someone once said, to know how rich you are, ask yourself, if what I have today is destroyed, what can I do? So if you're in that position now, ask yourself what happened to you in day to day. If those things you've accumulated now, you think you have it all, are being destroyed, what happens? That is why entrepreneurs get up busy and not just focus on what they have. They focus on what they have to do, what they can do to make things better, to make and to effectively do that, they make sure that they evaluate possible problems. That's why you see at first we have just on-site businesses or physical businesses, but now you have online business, right? Which means if your house, your business is physically destroyed, you have a component of your business that still operate only online. or virtual? Can you still make money from that business? Can you still grow that business from that point? Of course, yes. But if you don't work, you don't learn, things are changing. So one thing, or one reason why entrepreneurs can bring the best of anything, and why you can also think of being entrepreneurs, because these are people who are always open to keep learning. Entrepreneurs keep learning, are constantly always upgrading. What is new? Why is there new changing? What if this happened? Those are new. Those questions help you to go and continuously do findings. So if you see yourself at this point, like, I know it all, I don't need to read anything, I don't need, and they listen a lot to a lot of people's story. Like, if you go to real, in fact, to good entrepreneurs, you see they have good listening skills. They listen to people, like, they want to know what you're going through. They want to understand the real problem. They don't just want to get a problem based on what they think or imagine. They want to listen. That's a form of learning. Listening to people, you learn a lot. So entrepreneurs are good listeners, and that people will learn continuously. That's why also from every situation, while other people are seeing the problems, because they listen attentively, they are able to get the solution. Because if you don't understand the problem fully, tell me, how can you have the solution? Can you solve a problem you don't understand? Like, how effectively can you solve a problem you don't understand? So many times people rush in businesses or bringing solution in problems they have not understood. That's one reason many businesses crash. You start a business just because they say, oh, this business is good, this business. Yeah, the business is good, but did you check what solution is this business bringing? What are the challenges, and what are also the advantages? Or you just look at the advantages, the benefits, people who are already making it in the business and enter. Ooh. So entrepreneurs, secondly, they are people who focus on solving problems using their available resources. You see, each time you gossip about somebody, what happens is you're creating a new problem to yourself. But entrepreneurs don't waste that time to talk about people. They will spend time to talk about ideas. So one characteristics and something that keep entrepreneurs to keep having good results is that ability to see solution in every problem. And they also think more of other people's needs. Like, how can this solution get to people, these people with that network? How can this thing get to these people who really need it? That is how they think. I don't think it's how, but how can I pay? Because typically those who are just me mindset, life is short, let me live my life, are like, how can I have more money for beer? How can I have money for mine? So it's always personal, but entrepreneurs think more about the general public, not those themselves. That's why you see an entrepreneur can try something, it doesn't work, and the person even take the house rent, put it for that thing to work, or even sell the car to put. But guys, it's not for the faint hearted, of course, right? So yes, the focus in caring about other people's concern, and also creating a market. Like, yes, you know the problem, yes, you know the solution. Many of us are like, I beg, let me mind my business. Entrepreneurs don't mind their business, unfortunately. If you're an entrepreneur or you're this business person who is still like, I just want to make money, I don't care what they do, I don't care how they see, you won't go far. That's all the truth. You won't do well, or you are going to collapse in no time. But if you're able to continue, that's why I said treat your customers as kings and queens. So if you're able to treat your customers and clients right, hearing also from them, trust me, your business will always keep growing. Your idea will expand. If you treat your stakeholders, those people who are helping you to grow that idea well, that idea is going to grow in no time. But if you don't, so entrepreneurs are very intentional. So to be a good entrepreneur, one thing that keeps them is their faith and dependence on God. Now, as I said, why many of us are focused on what to eat, money in my bank account, An entrepreneur's bank account can be very empty for months because the person, as the money is coming, is building, is adding to where or solving the problem he or she wants to solve. So what happens is this: at this point, they become more dependent on faith. Like faith is assurance of things not seen, evidence of things hoped for. Sometimes the people you think they are like people having billions in account, no, it's just their zeal to see great things manifest. And they put all their best to see these great things manifest. That's why you see entrepreneurs like pray like beyond even your imagination. So they put their trust on God, not man. Which means, as an entrepreneur, for example, I get up each day. I'm like, God, show me what to do. God, direct me what to do. And I know that as I'm talking to God, I will step out. Some people will say, I beg, forget about that one. That idea will not work. I beg, she's wasting her time. So, of course, each time you come, people, mostly when you start a new idea, people will discourage you. Sometimes the people are very close, not because they hate you, but just because they don't understand. So entrepreneur have that faith that they don't doubt God. They believe so much in God. I think it may shock so many people because some people think that, oh, most of these great people don't worship God. If you think like that, it's what it just that most of them or some point which that when God bless us we become proud to say the truth, to say how we got up there. That's just what happened. Sometimes if you follow the path, God lifts you. But how to stay humble is what some people don't have. So entrepreneurs definitely pray differently because they don't come to God as if they are perfect people. They come to God knowing that they're broken, they're just vessels. That's why I was playing the song in the beginning. I'm just a vessel. Just use me, God, to help my people. I'm just a vessel. Just help me to have this idea so that I can be able. Just help me to give me clarity on these things so that I can dance I good. Also, they have great interpersonal and networking skills. How many of us here know how to interact with people not properly? Many of us are, in the name of I'm an introvert, tend to be shy, tend to be gossips, tend to be negative critics. These are attributes that destroy humans. That these are attributes that destroy networks. You have groups that people come together maybe for a common because they're from the same tribe, but because they gossip a lot, there's no productive thing coming out of that group. So good entrepreneurs have good skills when it comes to relating with people and networking, which means they don't do negative criticism or destructive networking. They do constructive networking. They're intentional about who they recruit into their system. That's why some people, entrepreneurs may have very few friends, very few. Why? Because it's not a matter of how many friends you have, right? It's a matter of the quality of the friends you keep. How are they helping your purpose? Yeah, Jesus himself did not have 20 close friends or 20 close disciples. He had just three. And why do you want to have more than him? So it's just like that, like good interpersonal skills. So you can check yourself now, like, how are my interpersonal skills? How? And guys, let me see. Well, what do you think are the benefits of having good interpersonal skills? I know some people may not even know, but when you're applying for a job, we or some people like they have good interpersonal skills, powerful communication skills. If you have a good idea, you don't know how to sell your idea. Trust me, that idea may not go anywhere. True. Like you can have a very powerful idea, but because you don't know how to communicate it, it's going nowhere. So entrepreneurs have good communication skills. They are not shy people. They are not afraid to stand in the crowd. They are not afraid to speak. They are not afraid to talk. They are not afraid of people. Another important thing about good entrepreneurs is humility, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. Many of us want to get to the top, but we forget that we have to lift others before getting to the top. You see, all of us want to sit in good, comfortable office, or let me say some of us, not all of us, because I don't want to sit in very comfortable office chair, and people just pay us. People come and bow to us, and us we just sit there. And unfortunately, that's what some people think. But as an entrepreneur, to be honest, if you want to be one, or if you want, you need to be humble enough to meet the least their point of need, to be able to whatever is your least employee, to be able to, because to listen to someone else is humility. The reason why many times we don't listen to other people because we are not humble enough. We feel we are more than everybody. We only have to talk and then listen. So as a good entrepreneur, one thing that keep entrepreneurs good is that aspect of humility, to interact with people irrespective of their academic portfolio. You can have five PhDs. How do you relate with undergrads? How do you relate with people who are uneducated? That's why, as an entrepreneur, you can decide to be supplying salt, right? Thank you, sis. Thank you, Jen. As an entrepreneur, you can decide to be selling salt. But your salt, if you did PhD and you did food science and you know how to produce those things, you're not going to be talking to people who did food science with you. So you don't really expect to be using, or you don't think to come and be using those your food science terminologies, right? You have to humble yourself. If those people are speaking broken English or you're speaking their mother tongue, you don't have to come and speak English. But you have to learn whatever they're speaking to relate in that local level. That's what I talk about humility, to talk with them on one-on-one basis. Trust me, if you're able to do that as a human being, you are going to even see great change in your life over there. Another thing about entrepreneurs is that they are purpose driven. They are purpose driven. Many of us are results driven, or I'm saying many people, as humans, we are results driven. When the result is good, we want to do more. When the result is not good, many people give up, right? When the result is not good, you have few friends. When the results are so good, every other person, like people that don't know you, start celebrating you. The same people who told you you are wasting your time now come and start claiming your relationship. That's results driven. So entrepreneurs stay in the area of purpose and not area of results, which means even when the results are good, they still want to stay humble, to still focus on what can I do? That's that same question. The question will not change. What can I do? What do I have to do? So always another aspect of humility is always available to work. Many of us want people to serve us, but we are not humble enough to serve other people. And the truth is, money is in service. Either you're providing someone with a product or you're providing someone with a service. So in any way you're serving someone, that's the secret that entrepreneurs have understood. And that's one of the reasons they stay humble, to always be able to know who they can serve. Who can I be available to serve? Who is ready or who needs my help? And obviously, there's money in that, if you know. Another thing is they are highly productive and efficient. So the high productivity and efficiency is one of the things that make us to see like, oh, this person, whatever the person do, he or she does it well. And I ask everybody connected, like, have you seen people around you, if you're honest with yourself, have you seen people around you that whatever they decide to do, they do it well? Like whatever they just decide that this is what I want to do, it comes out perfect. Doesn't matter what skills they had before. So one thing that makes good entrepreneurs successful people in whatever they do is that intentionality to be highly productive and efficient. You can have high level of production but the quality is low, right? So that's why I talk about efficiency. You can produce so much um what can I use, so much I use gary, so much gary, but your gary is full of sand. Unfortunately, I wouldn't like to consume it. And there are guys I know from certain part that always has sun. I won't mention, but personally, someone I'm buying that I'm like, I'm sure it's not from this area. So that is what efficiency as an entrepreneur, which means for you to be able to go back and listen to seeing what you can improve that productivity and efficiency. You have to go back to your consumers. You have to go back to your consumers. That's the humility. Oh, how was it? Did you like it? Do you want me to change something? Um, is there anything that you want us to improve? That's what it is all about. And that's why you see the results keep getting better. It's not because you just sat in the office in a very comfortable chair and just turning, swinging around, then the results come. No. Those survey you receive, that's what it's all about. They sit and like, oh, that man, when you go somewhere, you see amazing customer service. They pay people to do that. That is because somebody came and one day said, oh, I came here, I was not well treated. And the man said, no, sorry. I am sorry. We did that, but next time we are not going to do that again. So how many of us are able to do that, by the way? I know many of us just want to go and sit somewhere that they pay us, and but I'm not. This must not be in a business. This must maybe even in your house. Thinking as an entrepreneur is not a matter of just business people. It's a matter of day to day living, the way you live your lifestyle. Are you this person who connect with people positively or negatively? That's what it is. Are you this person? So another thing that makes entrepreneurs super exceptional beings is accountability. Accountability. These people who still say, it's my life, let me do it how they do. Ask them, how did you even do? They won't tell you. So if you see people who are able to say, okay, I was given 24 hours by the grace of God, and this is what I did with this time. How do you call that? If there's a different word from accountability, how will you call that? And yesterday I wouldn't solve this client well, and we give this client a call and see how we can compensate that client. That client will come back, but there's this another human being who says, I beg, is she the only person or is he the only person? I beg, there are thousands of people out there, like country people, we know ourselves. So you go to a business and someone will say, "Oh, the service was not the best," and you want to like give a complaint. And before you complain, I beg, leave this place. Are you the only person? Will you want to go back to that business place? No. And you maybe was their main client. They didn't treat you well. What will make them automatically start treating the second client good? So sometimes people have great ideas, but because they don't have these skills, this mindset of being accountable, they lose their blessings. Sometimes God has blessed some of us with great gifts, great talents, but because we have refused to be accountable, what happens? We end up losing that gift or talent. There are people who can sing, but then nobody know them. There are people who can act, nobody know them. There are people who are very, very smart. Nobody knows them. Nobody. So we all can definitely step up a little bit to be like entrepreneurs. And another thing that really, that's why if you know me, I always say the Bible is that book that does not lie. Before you were born, the Bible was written. People have some people say, oh, the Bible was written by a human being. The books you are reading were they written by animals? So the Bible, yes, was written by people, but under the influence of something. But I'm just saying that the Bible is one of those books I really love. Why? Because the things that were in the different versions I read 20 years ago, and I'm reading different versions now, has not changed. So it just like the Bible says, patience is a virtue, and it's not a lie. One thing with being an entrepreneur, is being patient. That's something that if you look every good entrepreneur you can copy from. If you didn't get it from the Bible, or if you're still arguing everything written in the Bible, argue it or copy it from the good people, the people who are doing well. And guys, other people around you, if you're one of them, can say me. I see. Are you one of those who can be grateful to say, oh, who can be bold to say, oh, patience helped me to be this? I'm one of those, by the way. That know the things that I could have lost if I was not patient. Because the truth is this: sometimes people are doing the wrong thing, but that people are not going to change immediately. You have that choice to stop doing what you're doing. Maybe that is the road you have to walk through to end it at that point and lost everything because of someone else's attitude, or as an entrepreneur thing like, what do I have to do? Because I said at the end of the day, that's what matters is, what are you, why are you there in the first place, what are you supposed to do? So something that keeps good entrepreneurs very successful regardless the situation is patience. Is patience. First, they have faith. Faith enough will not take you to your destination. Faith enough will not take you during those very difficult days. True or true? Faith enough will not keep you on the same goal. Some people had great wishes or goals in January. Ask them, what are your goals now? Those goals changed because you didn't see the result in January, and you waited in February, they didn't show up. You changed your mind. True or true? And you changed your mind not because you saw that the goals, because sometimes we set goals that are not feasible, so goals that don't even align with their purposes, right? That is okay if you change. I'm talking about this set of people who change their minds just because they didn't get the expected results. Not even after troubleshooting, most of the time. Just because, oh, I looked it left, I looked right, I tried once, I tried the second time, it didn't go, I quit. Most entrepreneurs, mostly those who are dealing with development or programming, you may have like 20 different codes before you have the right one, right? So that is to tell you that those who get the right results is not often like they did it the first time and they got it right. Patience is one of the driving force or the catalyst to good results that most entrepreneurs have. Another thing is diligence. You don't do things anyhow if you're thinking about the future. That's just the truth. You don't do things anyhow, but a lot of us, c'est ma vie, it's my life. As my brother said, there's no beer in heaven, so you feel like you can drink anyhow, you can talk anyhow, you can go anywhere, you can make anybody your friend. Okay. Entrepreneurs don't do like that. Good entrepreneurs don't think like that. They are like, do I really need to take it now? Like, if yes, what amount? Do I really need to take more than this? That's why some people don't even, but personally, that's one of the reasons I don't drink alcohol. So you have to check at some point, like, do my body really need it? My body produces, of course. Do I really need to add it? Do I like? So you have to be intentional. So entrepreneurs are diligent and intentional. So they really don't just act anyhow, the process. So definitely, this also to say like someone well before you say something, just know that it has been taught before you heard it. Maybe it's a processed information for about a year before it was shared. So we don't just come up, oh, today I feel like talking about entrepreneurs, whatever, and I come and start talking. There's a process. So there's really a process. And another thing is the love and care for others. You can't honestly help anybody you don't truly love or care. Forget this thing that somebody may be seeing someone going astray and you just come and start talking. If you genuinely don't love people, first you won't listen to them carefully. And that's one thing. If you don't listen to someone carefully, trust me, you may never be of help. And so because entrepreneurs are very very caring and are people loving, so for you to be a good entrepreneur you really need to love the people you're serving. So good entrepreneurs understand this. And the Bible says this way: to every man there's an appointed place, time, and people. You can take examples in the Bible. Jesus knew his appointed people was not the Pharisees, not the Sadducees, were Christian. So I don't come here, for example, to talk and expect everybody to like what I say, right? I know, of course, there are people that this is directed to. Moses knew there were Israelites. They were sending him to a particular place, a particular time, particular season. So if you go on and on and on, Joseph was in Egypt, and that is where his manifestation occurred, right? Daniel had to leave his homeland. So that is just to say, it's not just about being a solution, it's not just about having a good idea, but it's also about being really genuinely concerned and care for people. And that is a secret that entrepreneurs really are taking advantage of. And the last on my list, maybe not the least, is kindness and generosity. Mm, mm. Can you add water to a filled container? Let me ask everybody this one. Can you add water to a filled container? Like, can you put something in a closed hand? That's another version of the same question. Can you put something in a closed hand? These are like simple, they call them ancient African whatever proverbs, but I love them so much. Some people call them grandma or grandpa talks. So definitely, if you want to go far, after being concerned, if you're concerned about people, and I like one of, in fact, let me put it this way: I like the book of James for one thing. He goes direct to address concerns. he goes he goes to what to do when you're in trials, how to treat people, stuff like that. So one thing I learned from the book of James is the fact that you won't have someone who come to you if you say you're Christian, come to you and say, "Oh, I'm hungry, you have food." You say, "Oh, my sister, I'll pray for you," and start speaking in tongues. You do all those things. Oh, when you have the food, oh, you could just give that person the food, and there was never a need to prayer for God to give that person food when you can give food. So that is why the generosity and kindness is really essential. And that those are things that you see. Oh, you see people rich and they're blessing other people. That is a secret. There's a blessing in that. How many of us have noticed that God really favors and bless and really reward those who genuinely take it? I mean, genuinely, because in this generation, they fear us. Fear us. Many of us are like, mostly like me. When I see someone tell me I'm a humanitarian, I'm like, are you genuinely or business? Because we know everything in this generation is do for money, do for something. Either you're doing for money or do for people to acknowledge that you're a good man, or do for tax, do for different reasons. So, but I mean, do we know God really bless those who genuinely take care of the poor, the orphans, the widows, the less privileged, sick, those in prison, and the weak? Do we know that? Yes, of course, the Bible says I was in prison and you did not come to visit me. So, yes, many of us may say, "Oh, yes." Mostly those of us who are just obeying our bosses, employees, will say, "Oh, yes, I do what I do for passion because I'm able to serve and help other people." But when I say genuinely and intentionally, my question to you: what you're doing now that you know you're doing for people, what if for the next 2 years you receive no paycheck for that? Will you still happily, passionately devote your time and do it the way you're doing now? Or will you have to start searching for another opportunity, another door, another job? So that is to say, when I talk about genuinely, of course, a lot of us may be doing things that we're not even that intentional. Entrepreneurs understand because they listen or we listen attentively to what people are saying. That's a secret in business, by the way. If you want to do a business that you're always going to be successful, listen attentively. That is a secret. When people talk, you get where they act, what the problem. You can get a general picture of a problem, but if you're not able to properly understand that problem, how can you solve it? So to bring a solution is one thing, to share that solution is another thing. So you will not see any entrepreneur who is ashamed of sharing. If you're still in that position that you have a good idea and you're still too concerned about what people will say, what people, just know that you are still not in that sharing or charity position. And that is what makes entrepreneurs exceptional, because they know it's their responsibility to come up with a solution. It's their responsibility to identify the specific people who need that solution, and it is their responsibility to build a market, which means a system in which that solution can be exchanged. So that is why entrepreneurs choose to always be kind and generous, good ones, because I said there are so many dramas. So yes, I'm not the one saying here that, oh, being an employee or have a job is a bad thing, but I'm just explaining that indeed entrepreneurs think differently. They don't think in just make money, get a job, get up and go to work, do your routine. They take each day has a new task. That's the difference in the way entrepreneurs think. Yes, I want to bring a solution to people. I assume also that they don't yet know everything. That's why, most people that people have fixed minds. If you call them, oh, there's a meeting here, there's a meeting. I beg, I'm too busy. They're always busy. The entrepreneurs are always more open to attend. What is the time? What is it? What is it talking about? And oh yes, I would like to learn. That is a difference. So I just wanted to make us know that yes, indeed, that people will think differently, and you can also be among those people that think differently. And yes, the reason why you can be is because this is what brings that divine elevation, our thinking. If we want to go higher, we want to keep winning, the simplest and easiest way to do is to upgrade the way we think. Once we upgrade the way we think, a knife will not just be seen as a weapon, but it also be seen as a cooking instrument. That is it. When we change the way we think, a social media will not just be a place of negative energy, but we'll also see it as a market of opportunity. If we change the way we think, we'll not see like, oh, this is the only road, this is where everybody is going, but we'll see this is what I supposed to be doing. So it's not about where the majority is going or what's winning now. It's about what are you supposed to be doing. So I hope we all had a great time, and it's been a blessed day, and I hope we all are enjoying the weekend. So wherever you watch it, be on Facebook or YouTube, let us get your feedback. I know it's Saturday and some people may be doing thousands of other things, and some people may not be able to be active. We understand because, of course, mostly our creative and independent minds always do themselves the due diligence to always come back and watch a video they missed. I encourage you to do same. If at some point in this video maybe you were driving, you got distracted, come back to watch the video. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. If you want a private, feel free to send us a message. There's a way to send us a message, and I think you have our WhatsApps. You can connect with us on WhatsApp if you want it that way. So this is where we end for today. Hope we all had something to take home, and we hope the message was well passed, that indeed God is faithful. And if you want to know one place you can read a little bit Isaiah 40. I said I was going to do my best, and some people didn't remind me to be giving my scriptural buckets. So you can read a little bit of Isaiah chapter 14. I didn't, and I know many of us know the verse 31 that says, "Wait on the Lord. He that waits upon the Lord shall have the strength renewed." So I encourage you not just to read the verse 31. Train yourself to be a good entrepreneur, to have a good mind by always trying to get more of the details, because that's where the power lies. That's where the empowerment inspiration is understanding what these people were going through before God told them to. That they that wait upon him shall have the strength renew. Many of us are not doing the right things, but we just know that we are waiting. What are you waiting for? Maybe ask yourself that question. What am I waiting for? What have I been waiting for? And what do I expect? So this is just encourage us that each day is indeed an opportunity, and each day God gives us what we need. But the point is, what are we doing with what we need? Is what God is looking at each day. God already knows what we have and what we don't have. So we don't definitely need to remind God every day what we don't have. He knows. But He wants to see us how we faithfully connect and use what we have, and how we depend on Him, because that's the reason He doesn't give us everything. So is that connection. He wants that continuous connection and dependence to show that we still depend on him. But of course, many of us are not thinking this way. Many of us are not in this direction. So this is why I think this message is definitely an empowerment for everybody, even myself, to think again like, okay, so what am I waiting for? What do I want God to do? Because many of us, when you pray, you're waiting for God to do something, right? And it's often said, it's not the waiting that matters, but it's what you do while waiting, right? So I'm just encouraging us all that while waiting, let's be more intentional. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to grow in our mindset. Let's continue to grow in our actions. Let's continue to grow in our faith. Let's continue to grow in our communications with God and with other people, because if you spend more time with God, He helps you to deal with people, helps you to be there for people when they really need you, He helps you to understand things without even moving. So if somebody can explain something to you, you hear, but you don't understand, or you don't understand the way the person meant. So discernment is a gift that you have from the Holy Spirit. So stay blessed. See us all sometime next week.